Marjorie Taylor Greene continues to publicly disembowel Donald Trump as he continues to obsess over her. When Donald Trump was on Air Force One, he talked about how there's so many people in her congressional district who will be able to replace her and that she's not a good congresswoman. Hey, 25th Amendment dementia, Donald. She's no longer a congresswoman. You've already endorsed somebody in that district. Or did you forget about that? Marjorie Taylor Greene responded to Donald Trump yet again, calling her a traitor. And she said that is a badge of honor. She says, him? Doesn't even refer to him as Trump anymore. She goes, him? Calling me that? Calling me a traitor? That's a badge of honor because I'm not in this cult. I refuse to bow to his demands to cover up the Epstein files, to protect his friends. And I stopped fighting the hardest for a team that intentionally refuses to win. Just a reminder, here's what Trump said about Marjorie Taylor Greene the other day on Air Force One. Let's play it.
Tell us about your trip to Rome, Georgia on Thursday, your trip to Marjorie Taylor Greene's old district.
Well, we have a lot of people that want to take Marjorie Taylor Greene's place, and many, many candidates, and I have to choose one. And they say whoever I endorse is going to win, but we have a lot of good candidates who want to take her place.
Now, Donald Trump's biggest ally and advocate, one of the most powerful people in the Trump regime, Laura Loomer, right? Far right-wing extremist nutcase Laura Loomer, she posts the following to Marjorie Taylor Greene. As I said before, expect to see Marjorie Taylor Greene do nothing but attack President Trump all throughout 2026. She wants the GOP to lose the midterms. Marjorie Taylor Greene then responds to Loomer and says the following. I have to admit, I was wrong when I warned Trump and his senior staff to stay away from Laura Loomer. Her divisiveness, loyalty tests, temper tantrums, Israel first agenda, and her manufactured bullshit she calls Loomered have all been great for the party and the president. Laura is a two-time congressional candidate loser who has been seriously underestimated. Please, make her the chair of the RNC. Wait, that is not enough. Make her White House chief of staff. How dare President Trump not reward his most loyal worshiper, literally the self-appointed high priestess of MAGA, or make Iran great again, or Israel great again, whatever this thing has mutated into. I can't believe they haven't even given Laura the most simple and basic of all things, White House press credentials. This is outrageous. Marjorie Taylor Greene then reposted this account, the patriotic blonde, a former Trump supporter, former MAGA, who said, I keep hearing people say how tone deaf Trump is to the whole Epstein issue and that he doesn't seem to grasp the anger of his base. I worked 2 of Trump's campaigns. He's the most social media savvy president of all time. He hears you. He simply doesn't care. To which Marjorie Taylor Greene responds, correct. And then they intentionally post Q nods and laugh about how MAGA eats it up. Wake up. You've been brainwashed. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying what MAGA does is they will then do Q drops. They'll allude to QAnon conspiracies because you've been brainwashed. That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene is telling the MAGA base. She also reposts the following and she goes, all of you MAGA influencers and the rest mocking the seriousness of women who were trafficked and raped as teenagers and young women look like cult fools. And then she reposts this account that writes, from November 3rd, 2024 to February 2nd, 2026, Trump's approval rating among women swung net negative 19%. Women 18 to 29 who care a great deal about how the Epstein files situation was handled displayed the largest net swing at negative 38.2%. It's worse today too. Stay tuned.
Your credit score may have taken a big hit over the holidays and you may not even know it. Sure, a late payment hurts, but so does opening a store credit card just to get a discount, and transferring a balance from one card to another, that can drop your score fast. So, if you're thinking about refinancing, buying a new car, renting an apartment, anything that requires credit, you need your best possible score, and you need it fast. You need Smart Credit, the new science in credit scoring. Smart Credit's data experts understand how the credit bureaus operate. They build a personalized strategy designed to take action and maximize your score, not by a few points in a few months, but potentially see a real upward change to secure better rates on everything you finance. Better scores could mean faster approvals, lower payments, and more money in your pocket. Don't let holiday spending traps derail your entire year. Get ahead of it now with Smart Credit. Go to smartcredit.com/Meidas and start your 7-day trial for just $1. Your results will depend on your unique credit profile, but I think you'll be excited to see how many points Smart Credit estimates that you can gain. Results not guaranteed. Cancel anytime. That's smartcredit.com/Meidas, smartcredit.com.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene puts the dagger in. Here's what she writes. The White House and Republicans are meeting to try and figure out messaging going into the midterms and State of the Union next week. If you had put America first from the start instead of your rich donor class and foreign policy, you wouldn't have to strategize on how to gaslight Americans. If you had not called the Epstein files a hoax and treated the Epstein survivors, rape and trafficking victims like they didn't exist, and if you would release all the files and put your rich, powerful friends in prison, then Americans might actually listen to your messaging. Since you all are on the struggle bus, I'll give you an American first tip that you all don't know about and are continuing to ignore, especially since the president is coming to my former district on Thursday. Approximately 75,000 households in my former district had their health insurance double or more on January 1st of this year because the Affordable Care Act tax credits expired and Republicans have absolutely failed to fix our health insurance system that was destroyed by Obamacare. 75,000 households equals hundreds of thousands of people in Northwest Georgia whose health insurance doubled literally last month. Many dropped their policies and no longer have health insurance. And that's on top of everyone else who complains daily about the absurdly high cost of health insurance. It affects everyone except the billionaires running the White House administration and Congress, whom all have a very nice, affordable government health insurance plan. And no Trump RX doesn't fix this, so that's not your messaging answer. I'm talking about younger, healthier people and families not on meds who can't afford to pay $1,500 to more than $2,000 per month just for their monthly health insurance premiums, not including $7,000 to $10,000 for a deductible before their ridiculously expensive health insurance policy kicks in. A Truth Social post or Trump video isn't fixing this either. Speaker Johnson claimed he had the Republican plan during the 8-week shutdown in the fall, then carried on and has done nothing, proving he lied once again. And don't go on Fox News crying about the filibuster. Everyone knows it's a stupid self-imposed rule that is absolute bullshit. The Senate only upholds the filibuster to keep the uniparty in power and to protect the big, powerful industries who pay the lobbyists and fill everyone's campaign coffers. Messaging won't fix this. Delivering America First results for regular Americans is your only chance. And going into another foreign war like with Iran makes it all worse. Only people, mostly boomers, spoon-feeding Fox News propaganda will cheer that on and release all the Epstein files and stop protecting pedos. You ruined everything by covering up for them. And stop the bullying, harassment, and name-calling. It's immature, childish, and tuning so many people away. Real leaders don't act like this, and it's a horrible example set on the world stage. This isn't the behavior we want to teach our children. America would be better off if our government just did its job and was seen and not heard. Everyone is sick of politics contaminating and ruining everything. Life needs to be enjoyed without political domination and fighting. It's exhausting. There's one thing I know about Georgia's 14th. These people will elect their representative on their own, and most of them hate government anyways because the government has caused most of their problems with decades of pitiful America-last selfish decisions. And you can call me all the petty names you want. I don't worship a man. I'm not in a cult, and I refuse to fight for a team that refuses to win. Jesus is my savior, and I know that he has already finished it, and I'm good with that. All of this garbage end is fake anyways. Bottom line, deliver real results for the regular American people because respect is earned, not given. Then she posts this video of Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan was a right-wing podcaster, and here's what he just posted. And Marjorie Taylor Greene reposts this. Here, play this clip.
I've been pretty quiet about Pam Bondi in front of Congress the other day talking about how the Dow's up to 50,000. Nobody gives a fuck, because what you should be talking about is how you are going to investigate and prosecute any pedophiles that were running around on Epstein Island that you're affiliated with. But we didn't talk about that, did we? Oh, and what's the excuse? What was the excuse? Oh, if we prosecute everybody, the whole system would go down. Well, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like how Trump ran his campaign. Let's drain the swamp. Doesn't that sound a lot like draining the swamp? It actually is drain the swamp served up to you on a fucking silver platter. But you're not going to take it, are you? You're going to protect pedophiles. You're going to protect pedophiles rather than go after them and hope that everybody's happy that the Dow hit 50,000.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene posts this video of a guy by the name of Bobby Sauce. And here's what he had to say as well. Here, play this clip.
I do love this new line of attack where it's like, you're a Democrat if you don't deep throat MAGA slop as it relates to the Epstein files or Thomas Massey or the like. It's like my brother and Soggy Brain. We're not doing the Republican Democrat thing anymore. A lot of us moved past that. You understand? It's like when you do child diddling, when you do cover up, when you do nefarious organizations around the entire globe getting covered up, we don't care if you got an R or a D. That time has passed. Just because you vote on the right and generally agree with the vast majority of policies on the right doesn't mean that everyone on the left or everyone that is a Democrat is wrong all the time. If someone says something that is correct and true and timely and just, the D and the R doesn't matter. That's the type of oatmeal brain, binary, boomer slop style thinking that lets the real things that matter slip through the cracks while we focus on all the things on the fringe edges.
So, as Marjorie Taylor Greene alluded to, Donald Trump will be giving a speech in her district, Georgia's 14th, as his way of saying, "Gotcha, Marjorie. Look what you did, Marjorie traitor. You turned your back on the MAGA movement." And let me be clear, I'm no Marjorie Taylor Greene fan or apologist, and her saying this doesn't erase all of the years of hate and lies and things that she done and she did, in my opinion. But she's saying, look, I voted with you most of the time, and where we disagreed was where I said you can't cover up for the pedos. And then you said you need to cover up for the pedos. And if I want to remain in the cult, you said that Marjorie would have to cover up for the pedos also. Marjorie says, I don't want to do that. And Trump said, well, then you're out. You're out of MAGA because MAGA covers up for pedos. And then Marjorie said, well, then I don't want to do that. And then Trump said, you're a traitor. Get the hell out. She said, well, I guess I'm out. That's what happened. Objectively, that's what happened. You know, she was as loyal of a foot soldier to Trump in every regard, except when it came to covering up child sex trafficking. And that's where Trump and MAGA were like, that's kind of what we do in MAGA. Right? Wait, hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks so much for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.